Hey, how y'all doing? I thought I'd do me a video here. I downloaded me one of them free video editor apps, and there goes Texa flying around there. He loves blasting around. I've made me a new entrance in the fence over here. Got the old four-wheeler I covered up down here. Nice and close to the shop. I trimmed the old fence off of that post and folded it back around, and boy, that makes the shop walk down here to the shop a whole lot shorter, less roundabout. The old ankles appreciate that one. Take a gander in here at what kind of a goings on I got going on with this old dirt bike right here in the doorway. It's still tore apart, but the airbox is cleaned out. Carburetor's still apart. Gotta wait on the rebuild kit, of course. Fumble my way over around here. Get over here to me workbench. Plug in my light on the way. Oh. Bam. Yeah. Messy shop. It's still messy, but it ain't near as bad. Actually, over here, got my small wheel attachment over here on the bench. The Lansky sharpener, and then a bunch of some more junk, but anyways. Here's this pocket knife I've been working on lately. One of the last things I did to it there was did some file work there on the liners down there. I got the shield in. It took some time. Of course, I'm doing it by hand. I was just doing well. I got this set of needle files up there. I drilled a 1/4 inch hole in the center, and I forget, what was it, 3/16 the small end on each end, and yeah, then filed it out. Get this pin out. There we go. The shield, it's not on the surface. It goes all the way through the handle material there. And the way I file it at an angle. So whenever the scale goes on it, it's actually pressing the shield into the liner. So it kind of traps it, which I still epoxy it in and whatnot. But that's like a safeguard. Of course, like when it's together, the handle material there's going to be pinned to the liner, so it's, even if the epoxy fails, it's going to hold that shield in, which I'm still going to do a small pin on this end. I was waiting until after I got everything shaped just so, because I have made the mistake of getting all confident of my handle shape and decide to trim a little off the top or off the bottom or whatever the case was, and it got that little pin there off centered. So I'm holding off now until I get my final shape, and that'll be one of the last things I do before I start painting it together. Anyways, I got the back spring scratched out on there, just a general shape of what it's going to be. And of course, I always do the center hole after I get everything fit up, because that's how I set my tension. And this dude here, it'll be my blade. What I've got is kind of a scuffed around for the hinge area. I ain't drew out the blade shape yet, which I got in mind what I want. And I got these onto some liners. I'm going to have to trim the liners up. That way I can line the bolsters up good. That way they're not all crooked and everything side to side. And I'm going to be trying to do some jigging on there. This is what I've been practicing. The last I did was that right there. And I'm actually, for what I have to do it with, I'm actually pretty pleased with it. I know there's better tools and equipment out there to make it look better, but overall, I think that'll work, especially for a first try on that. And another thing I got is some African Blackwood. They ain't 100% shaped, but these are my Country Gentleman pattern that I'm going to make out of them. And of course, this one here's a variation of it. It's really similar, but I've rounded the end a little bit more, and I'm going to do a different blade shape than what my original Country Gentleman pattern is. I'm still trying to figure out what to call it, because it's similar, and I really like the Country Gentleman name, so because it's, well, kind of got a nice ring to it. So I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to call this. But anyways, that's the thing in the Knife Works, and we'll see how this video turns out. I might make a couple more clips here as I mosey around, stomp around in my shop here. This is a Sunday afternoon, and I'm just been taking it easy. I had Case, and I just got back from taking him back home to his mama not long ago. And, oh yeah, I don't know how many of you knife makers are watching, but I've seen where, whenever some of the guys peen them together, they'll use a shim. And I seen on the Facebook makers group where one guy said he used I think that's 2000, so I'm terrible when it comes to numbers, but a shim to peen it, and when he gets it peened, they'll pull it out, and then of course ease in the tension afterwards. So I got me some shims from when I was building the motor in this old truck here, and shoot, I've hardly used them. I thought, Lord have mercy, I already got them, so I'm going to trim a spot out in them, that way it can fit around the hinge pin and see what happens. Because, well, like on that last nickel silver bolster I did, the knife itself was pretty nice, but I had fits getting that pin to hide without squeezing the blade too hard. So with a shim in there, in theory, which that's going to be trial and error, I'm sure, but I can pin it reasonably solid for the pin to fill up the countersinking I do in there without squeezing the blade too tight. At least that's the theory behind it. I'm going to find out. Anyhow, I'll walk back up to the house and grab my water, turn my light off. We'll see how this works. Oops, fan fell over. Hey, boy. Good boy. Well, it's good John with y'all. I'm going to head in the house and call it an evening. Y'all take care.